Regieleki is a Pokemon that was very dominant in competitive Generation 8, however, really hasn't seen much usage in the DLC of Scarlet and Violet. However, it has recently got second place on a hyper-offensive team at the Latin American International Championship, and we're going to see how well Regieleki can perform in today's video. This is Tiago's hyper-offensive Regieleki Tailwind team. The idea behind Regieleki is it is really good into Tornadus and Urshifu, one of the most common duos in the format, and even Choice Scarf Urshifu cannot outspeed Regieleki, so as long as you're able to match a Tailwind, Regieleki is able to threaten a lot. It also helps that Iron Bundle has dropped a lot in usage because Speed Booster Iron Bundle is like one of the main speed control formats, which Regieleki did not really enjoy, but because you have the dynamic speed and Regieleki being super fast now with Iron Bundle dropping, Electro Web is just really good speed control to help out with its offensive coverage in the Chiyu and the Flutter Mane. Speaking of Chiyu with the Beads of Ruin helps power up the Regieleki even after the Transistor nerf, and the Electro Web plus Overheat or the Heat Wave is able to do mass amounts of damage, while Snarl also being good chip but also helping into the size spam matchup. You have Flutter Mane with this Focus Sash, which allows it to tank a hit, and something of a common theme is this team is still pretty bulky even though it's pretty offensive, so you're usually able to live at least one hit and usually outspeed in two shot most things, which gives you a huge advantage potentially. With that Focus Sash, just really a max speed Flutter Mane that you're able to run and do a lot of consistent damage. We have the Wellspring Ogerpon, which is able to help out against all the water moves that you can have out there. Hornleech for recovery, set up with Sword Stance as a wall breaker, but also really synergizes well with the Follow Me from Inity, but is also able to help out against like a lot of Trick Room-ish teams where it's able to set up, stall a bit, and recover back all its HP, but also into certain matchups as well. We have the Indeedee with the Psychic Terrain, which helps because there's a lot of priority moves out there like Dragonite Extreme Speed, King Gambit Sucker Punch, and being able to help out when all of your Pokemon are generally frail. Just being able to prevent that is really nice, as well as the Follow Me and Helping Hand for the extra damage support. And finally, the Tornadus on this team is running Terror Dark to help out against the Tornadus that run Taunt, so you can't get taunted, because this one is no speed investment. It actually has 28 speed IVs because it is able to set up a Rain Dance in case you're facing a Sun of the Day Torn, and there was like a 29 speed IV Torn out there potentially in the past, especially in the Regulation D ladder, so just having 28 speed IVs with the Rain Dance just to beat the Sunny Day teams. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. All right, we have Roaring Moon, Golden Go, Wheezing, Bramblegast, Urshifu, and the Hisuian Arcanine. This is a team that we saw Casta use to get 6-3 top 64, I believe, at the Latin American International Championship. It was a team popularized by a player from Spain. Now, let's see, how do I want to perform against this? Because it's a little bit awkward, the wheezing stuff. I do really like Regieleki. Regieleki does seem pretty annoying for them. I like Regieleki. I want to say Flutter Mane is pretty good here. I don't really like Tornadus too much. I do like Flutter Mane plus Regieleki. I think it's strong. I do think Ogerpon is really necessary in this matchup. And then I think Chiyu for the Golden Go. Indeedee Torn not having any support mons is kind of strange, but I don't think the Indeedee is too good in this matchup. Psychic Terrain's not really necessary. I don't think I need Tornadus Tailwind because like Tornadus is getting walled by the Bramblegast. Doesn't really do too much otherwise. So I think that these are the right four Pokemon. I want to pressure like a Wheezing Roaring Moon lead if they want to try to counteract the Tornadus option. I think Regieleki plus Flutter Mane is just such a threatening lead to them because Electro Web plus the Dazzling Gleam is so big against them overall. The only issue is how fast is that Roaring Moon? Is that Roaring Moon faster than my Regieleki? So that could be a thing because of Speed Booster. We'll find out, I suppose. Because I am faster than Scarf Urshifu, I'd imagine, I think it was Speed Booster on this team. It's not Attack because it's Tailwind. We're going to see Roaring Moon Wheezing. Okay, so this is not like something too surprising here, as we do lead our Regieleki plus our Flutter Mane immediately off the bat here. Neutralizing Gas is going to affect the field, as we are going to see that booster energy activate on that Roaring Moon, going to be that Speed Booster. Yep, Speed Booster. Okay, I do have the Electro Web option, and I think I'm just going to go for an Electro Web immediately. Kind of need the damage. think I'm gonna fire off a Shadow Ball immediately because I don't expect Roaring Moon. I think Roaring Moon would probably just go for Terra anyway. This team is very, very popular online, so I'd imagine that you would probably know about the option of like the Focus Sash Flutter Mane, which is a huge threat. You'd probably want to either protect Roaring Moon and maybe just attack with the Wheezing to break a potential Focus Sash, or you might want to go for that Terra Poison immediately, where I do want to get rid of that Wheezing. So I think just going for the Tards and the Wheezing so I can actually activate my abilities is going to be pretty huge. We are going to see the Terra on the Roaring Moon. This should be Terra Poison. Yep, Terra Poison. Okay. So that means they're probably going on the offense, which is okay here. I do get a free Electro plus a Shadow Ball off, which isn't too bad. We actually see the knockoff immediately in the Flutter Mane, which is perfectly fine for me. So I am able to get an Electro off into both. And yeah, it does connect, which is great. So we do get that speed drop on the Roaring Moon, as well as the Wheezing and a big Shadow Ball off in the Wheezing as well. So pretty decent turn right here, as we are going to be able to get a lot of chip here onto that Wheezing. Yep. Get that special defense drop, which is pretty juicy here, actually, as we do see a Citrus Berry heal up the Wheezing. Okay, so I probably knock out the Wheezing with some combinations. We're going to see Gunk Shot be fired off into the Flutter Mane. I don't remember if Gunk Shot was the original, but all right. So Flutter Mane goes down. I do get a free switch now. I can go into Ogerpon or Chi-Yu. I'm going to go hard in a Chi-Yu here. And I think I just want to go for a Overheat into the Roaring Moon and Electro once again. And I think that's completely fine. They might protect Wheezing and go for a... because the Thunderbolt might knock out the Wheezing now. So I could definitely see them going for Protect and maybe try to set up a Tailwind with the Roaring Moon, hoping that they can get that Tailwind up and sack these Pokemon to bring in, like, I don't know, the Hisuian and Arcanine maybe. So my goal here is to try and slow these Pokemon down so I can go for that Electro Overheat combination, knock out the Roaring Moon. Gunk Shot shouldn't be able to knock out Regieleki or the Chi-Yu, so I'm okay if they Protect. It's not ideal, but it's definitely like an option that I do have. And yeah, let's see how the rest is going to play out here, because the idea is to get rid of that Roaring Moon as quick as possible. Maybe it was worth it. Psychic would have been nice here, but it's not like I had speed control. We're going to see Protect from the Roaring Moon, which is an interesting option. Okay, maybe they wanted a free switch. I am able to go for an Electro Web here into the Wheezing. Okay. Big damage in that Wheezing. Another speed drop. We're going to see the Overheat fail into the Roaring Moon, and this should be Gunk Shot again. Now, granted, I don't exactly like taking another Gunk Shot, but it's okay. Ooh, we take a dodge here, which is pretty nice. Chi-Yu dodges, which we would have survived pretty easily. We would have probably taken 50 to 60%, but definitely appreciate it. I can now go for an Electro Web and an Overheat once again into Roaring Moon. If they go into Arcanine, they're still taking a bunch of damage to the combination. And then like the Wheezing can Protect. I still get pretty good damage off regardless. Like, I'm pretty sure I get to nuke the Roaring Moon slot, so I will gladly take that. Like, that is some free damage I'm about to get into this Roaring Moon now. So it has been a pretty nice couple of turns. We're kind of overwhelming them at the current rate. I don't know. Again, I'm trying to set up for an Ogerpon endgame win. We're going to see the Wheezing Protect, which makes a lot of sense, but they haven't gotten enough damage, which is really ideal. So here comes an Electro Web off into that Roaring Moon. Hopefully it does put it in the Life Orb Overheat range, which I'd imagine it does, because even without the Beads of Ruin, this is still like a pretty high special attack. Oh, that's a bad miss. Well, I guess Justice kind of does a thing. We're going to see the Protect here, or the Tailwind from the Roaring Moon. Great. Okay. Are they going to hard swap? Hard to tell. I'm just going to go for a double Protect here. I have to stall out this Tailwind. Well, I would have preferred hitting the Overheat then the Gunk Shot, so this ends up being worse because they are able to actually manage to get Tailwind up, and if they have Urshifu in the back, it's going to be a little bit hard to stall, so not great. Not great at all, but what can you do? We do have a position still. This is not like a terrible spot. It's just not an ideal spot. We'll double Protect here, stall out the Tailwind a bit. We'll see what they can do. The thing is, Regieleki should still outspeed the Wheezing. I don't know if we'll outspeed the Roaring Moon. We see knockoff go on to Eleki, which makes a lot of sense here. And we are going to see another Gunk Shot into probably the Chi-Yu. Yep. Or into Eleki, which is fine too. I could swap here if I really want to into the Ogerpon. I don't think I want Ogerpon taking damage though, because it is a pretty big win con. I think I'd rather just go for an Electro Web here, and I go for a Heat Wave. Now, the problem is that they have Brambleghast in the back. They get the attack boost because of Wind Rider, because they got Tailwind up. So I think this trade was pretty awful for me. just because they were able to get the they were just able to get the Tailwind up. So kind of have to go for the offense here. Knockoff going to come out of Regieleki. I am a bulky Regieleki, so I am able to survive. Let's see if the Electro have Chaos of Wheezing still. It does. Okay, perfect. We get a crit on the Wheezing. I don't know if it matters, but then again, we got the special defense shot from earlier, so kinda helps. But it would have gone down to Heat Wave regardless. Now Beats of Room is back in effect, so I can at least knock out the Roaring Moon, assuming we hit with the Heat Wave. And this is not going well, huh? Yeah, that's not good. Arcanine coming out. Okay, if it's Arcanine, it's not too bad. All right. So there should be Choice Banded Arcanine. It's the last turn of Tailwind, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the last turn of Tailwind. I guess I'm just going to protect the LAIC, and I'm going to go for a protect with my Chi-Yu as well. Stall out this Tailwind, and then we'll see what happens afterward. We're going to see Roaring Moon retreat, which is fine, into the Bramble Gas to get that... gets the Wind Rider. Okay. As we do protect the LAIC, fine. As we do get the double protect here. Okay. Because Rock Slide would have outsped and knocked us out. Okay, so they lock in the Rock Slide. I wonder if I can live the Shadow Sneak. I kind of doubt it because this is +1 Bramble Gas, but maybe. The LAIC, it's about a third of its HP. I'd imagine Shadow Sneak knocks out. I can't really get a free switch here, which is unfortunate for me. I think my best play is just to Electro up here and just Snarl. I don't know if the Bramble Gas protects, but I think I do have to break that Sash on the Bramble Gas, which is going to be like really crucial. So let's go for that attack into the Arcanine and get some pretty big chip, which is going to be super ideal. I might need a dodge here. I don't think I can really use my Terror here effectively, unfortunately. I just need to hit probably attacks here. Oh, wait, what? They did not Shadow Sneak. Wow. What? Okay. They give me the Bramble Gas, and because they give me Bramble Gas, that's huge for my Ogerpon in the bag. I do get a Snarl off. That's huge damage into the Arcanine. Wow. Oh, man. That's big. And we're going to see the Rock Slide come out. Oh, Rock Slide does come out. I thought it missed for a second, and I was like, oh, man, that was like a guaranteed win if it missed. But LAIC goes down. So does the Chi, but the game's not over yet because it's still Arcanine and Roaring Moon versus my Ogerpon. And this is going to be a pretty scary endgame right here. So I will go on to Ogerpon. They do need to Tailwind this first turn, so that's at least one of the benefits here. So they got a Tailwind here. Does Terra even change anything in this game? I don't even think it does. At least not at the current moment. But there's not really a reason not to just go for a Horn Leech into Arcanine here. Because they should just go for Tailwind and Rock Slide. They should be Choice Banded. They should be locked into Rock Slide. This should be a Tailwind. Because if they don't Tailwind, if they just go for Breaking Swipe, they lose the game. Because my Ogerpon's actually fast on this team. So unless this Arcanine for some reason is really, really fast, like Jolly Arcanine, I should be able to outspeed the Arcanine and just be able to get the attack off before the Rock Slide. And that's pretty huge. They do go for a Tailwind, which is not too surprising. Yep. Oh, we outspeed actually. I didn't think the Electro outspeed drop was going to be enough into the Arcanine, but it is actually. Wow. That Arcanine was a lot slower than. Yeah, that's a really slow Arcanine because if that Electro Web, it was only one speed drop, right? Yeah. Like I thought like, okay, it should still be able to outspeed if they hit like at least 133, which is like the common Arcanine speed, but that one's really slow for some reason. Okay, that just guarantees me to win, I think, because I can just Ivy Cudgel and knock out the Roaring Moon, and I don't have to worry about it. Wow. And that Breaking Swipe actually does do a lot more damage to the Ogerpon than I was anticipating, so yeah, the fact that they're slow Arcanine does bail me out here, but I mean, like, yeah, there were a lot of things that could have gone differently. Like, they could have Shadow Sneaked my Regieleki. They refused not to. The hit on the Roaring Moon, I think, was a big one, because if I hit the Roaring Moon, granted, sure, they hit the Chi-Yu, but I don't even think hitting Chi-Yu would have really made that much of a difference, realistically. Like, I was going down to most attacks anyway, but I wasn't going down to, like, a Brambleghast Shadow Sneak in that position, which I think would have been the big one. Maybe an E-Speed, but I don't think it would have been that big of a deal if that's the case, so yeah, kind of a strange games, a lot of misses, a lot of RNG, but able to pull through, thankfully, in the end. All right, Regieleki, Fluttermane, Chiyu, Dundozo, Tatsugiri, and Urshifu. This is one heck of a one right here. We should be able to play just fine. We have Fluttermane, which is pretty threatening to their team, actually. They do not have the best Fluttermane answers. So I don't really like Chiyu. Chiyu doesn't do that much in this matchup. At least I think it doesn't. I don't think Entity does too well here either. I do like Regieleki a lot. I do like the Torn a lot. I do like Wellspring Ogerpon can force a Terra, I guess, which might not be too bad. Actually, it might be the lead of like Wellspring Ogerpon plus Tornadus here. Yeah, I kind of like it. I'm going to do Wellspring Ogerpon plus Tornadus and Regieleki plus Fluttermane in the back. The reason I want to go for this combination is because I think Wellspring Ogerpon can threaten a lot of the non-Dundozo leads, which is the Fluttermane, the Chiyu, and the Regieleki with an Ivy Cudgel, and it's going to do a ton of damage. And then if we can force the Dundozo in later, I want to make sure I can check it, or at least make sure that I can like threaten heavy damage into it. We see Dundozo immediately actually with the Chiyu. Okay, which makes sense. I'm gonna go for a Tailwind immediately, and I'm just gonna go for Ivy Cudgel. I don't think I play any games here. I just go for the attack into the Chiyu. I might as well. If they want to switch on to Tatsugiri, then I'm gonna play the game afterward, which is just like trying to get rid of Dundozo later on. So it looks like they are going aggressive. They're okay with sacking, it looks like, as I get a beautiful Tailwind plus Ivy Cudgel off into the Chiyu. They might have tried to go for a second layer mind game of like, oh, the Tatsugiri switch is so obvious, he's not gonna go for the Ivy Cudgel here, but like I had no reason really to, because Dundozo's not threatening super much right here. They go for a substitute, which is fine, but like now, like if you want Dundozo to do something, you're probably going to have to bring in your Tatsugiri, and that means you're locked into Dundozo, which is pretty big, because if you're locked in Dundozo, my Fluttermane and my Ogerpon is going to be able to do some massive damage to you. We are going to see the Tatsugiri come in, which is fine. So I don't know if this is unaware or oblivious, because that's a big question, but I don't think I ever risk Swords Dancing here, and I definitely just attack here. So I'm going to go for a... Actually, if it's sub Dundozo, I don't know if they have Earthquake, but I'm just going to go for Bleak Wind immediately, and I'm just going to go for Horn Leech. Let's see if they Terra Dragon or not, because I think they do need Terra Dragon to... I mean, the thing is, Ogerpon, I think, should be able to break a sub if they don't Terra Dragon. If they do Terra Dragon, I'm in a great spot. Okay, I do get the free Horn Leech off into Dundozo, which is great. Do I break the sub? This is pretty big, actually, knowing if I break the sub. I do break the sub, which is good. Okay. Get a free Bleak Wind off. Okay. Nice. Some free chip. And order up. Waterfall. I was not expecting Waterfall. Okay. I have max defense Torn, so I'm in a good spot there. I'm going to Bleak Wind and I'm going to Swords Dance. And I'm just going to try to call them going for a Protect just to get Leftovers Recovery. Yeah. Like, if they're oblivious, this works out amazing for me. If it's unaware, like, so be it. Like, it doesn't change too much. It could change, like, a late game situation, I suppose. But I might as well go for it. So I do get the free Swords Dance up. I do go for the Bleak Wind into Dundozo. Really good position for me now, as I could potentially force a Terra here. I don't know if they do have that Terra once again. Like, I am trying to go for it. I could also go for Ivy Cudgel crit if I want to. I don't think I really need to. But yeah, I am just going to go for a Bleak Wind here, and I'm going to go for the Horn Leech into Dundozo. Let's see if they do have a Terra, and it looks like we are forcing a Terra, which is good. Okay. Because that's going to matter a lot for later on. So we already see Dundozo Terra. Terra Fairy, actually. Oh, it's not Terra Dragon. That changes a lot of my game plan, actually. Okay. So neutral hits across the board. Fluttermane becomes a lot less useful. Horn Leech, it is unaware, it looks like. Okay. So if I go for Ivy Cudgel, I can crit now. Okay. Get some decent damage off in Dundozo. What's the last move? Is it Earthquake? Terra Blast. All right. Into the Ogerpon, which I should survive one. Yeah, I do survive one. Okay. I mean, they're just taking a bunch of chip. They are getting really weakened here, so I'm okay with this. Tailwind Peters out. I'm going to reset it here. And I might as well just go for Ivy Cudgel. If I do get the crit, I get the crit. If I don't, not too much. Because I think Fluttermane is in a really good spot afterwards. So here comes Ivy Cudgel into the Dundozo. Don't get the crit, but still pretty good damage. They go for Terra Blast again and probably into the Pokemon. I could have Spiky Shield, but I never should allow sub happening. So yeah, they got a critical hit here. I'm thankful they got the crit here and not the previous turn. Could have used the crit on the Ivy Cudgel, but sure. I think Regieleki in the back plus Flutter Mane should secure it. I am going to go Flutter Mane here. Gonna go for a Bleak Wind plus a Moonblast here, I think. Yeah. Let's get damage. They're probably gonna protect to get Leftovers recovery. I can't really do much about it. Which is fine for me trade-wise. The end game could get a little bit tricky, I suppose. Oh, they don't protect. Okay, so I get free Moonblast off and Dondozo. And then assuming I hit the Bleak Wind, I should be able to KO it in the next Moonblast. So that's good at least. I missed the Moonblast KO. Okay, that's actually a little bit frightening. We're going to see Terra Blast be fired off probably into Flutter Mane or... Yeah, they target Flutter Mane. Okay. I guess this is still okay. It's definitely not as ideal, but it's still okay. But I might have to... Can I afford to Terra? Do they have priority? That is like... They don't have a Dragonite, right? They do have a Shifu, so I don't think I want a Terra. That's kind of actually pretty annoying. I'm gonna move. I mean, I'm just Bleak Winding Moonblasting. Oh, they don't protect at all. All right. I get the free Moonblast in a Dondozo. Bleak Wind again. I don't know if I KO though because of that leftover recovery. I do though. All right, beautiful. Okay, that's good. So Dondozo eliminated. Final Pokemon here. Let's find out. Maybe I saved my Terra to an unnecessary point because like my Terra doesn't matter. Oh no, it's Flutter Mane. Okay, no, I should have the seal then. All right, beautiful. Booster Energy. Which one are you? Special attack. Okay, so that means my Flutter Mane's guaranteed faster anyway. I'm gonna go for a Bleak Wind here and a Protect. Should I take advantage? I don't know if it's Scarf Tatsugiri. That's what I want to find out. Blast or Tailwind. I guess I could double Protect here. Yeah, I can double Protect here, actually. I can afford to. I can Scout for Protect on their Tatsugiri. I can also find out if it's Scarf, because if it's Scarf, all I have to do is Tailwind, Dazzling Gleam next turn, and I should have this sealed afterwards. So let's see. So we double Protect here. We're going to find out what... Like, unless Flutter Mane's Trick Room... Okay, so it is Scarf on the Tatsugiri. That's confirmed. Okay, so I should be able to seal this up here pretty safely. Okay. Yeah, all right. So it wasn't like some weird Trick Room Flutter Mane. If it was a Trick Room Flutter Mane, that could have been scary, but it should be fine now. I should be able to go for a Tailwind pretty safely with the Tornadus, go for a Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, pick up that knockout, and yeah, I'm just going to get the full value out of my Terra here because like my Regieleki can't do anything. I'm pretty sure, I guess the question is, does this double up actually pick up the knockout? We'll find out. I'm hoping that the Dazzling Gleam puts the Flutter Mane into Magnet T-Bolt range from Regieleki, but I mean, it's a Flutter Mane. It's still a pretty strong mon, so... We'll see. Bring out the Terra Fairy. Go for the Tailwind. Make sure I have that speed advantage against the Tatsugiri, which is pretty important. I feel like Torn should live the turn too, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see. I am max HP Torn, but we are at half. That Flutter Mane, though. That actually... This is going to be super close, actually. I don't know. Dazzling Gleam? Yeah, Torn does survive, so it might come down to Bleak Wind realistically, but actually no, because yeah, it does come down to Bleak Wind potentially, but also the fact that the Torn lives, I'm actually in a great position. So we are able to go for the Regieleki here, and we're going for Thunderbolt plus Bleak Wind. If Thunderbolt KO'd, great, because I don't know if I would live a special attack booster Moonblast at the range. Like, I think it depends on the spread, but let's just go for Thunderbolt. Let's go for Bleak Wind. We might have to hit the Bleak Wind. But luckily, they can't go for Dazzling Gleam and they can't go for Moonblast at the same time. They can only choose one. The only way they could do that is if they Dazzling Gleam crit my Regieleki. So hopefully, we're in a good spot where we just pick up the knockout into the Flutter Mane, but we'll find out. Thunderbolt going to come out. Yeah, barely just misses the knockout, but we are super clutch. Liquid Storm hitting the Fluttermane. Goodbye, Fluttermane, and that is able to seal up the victory. So they played aggressive. It didn't really work out for them. The Chiyu just went down immediately, and I was able to get into a really good position where, again, Dondozo was kind of forced. Terra Fairy made it awkward. If it was Terra Dragon, made it a lot easier for my just my own Fluttermane to really put into work, because they were either taking super effective damage from Horn Leech or super effective damage from the Fluttermane. But yeah, we were able to thankfully power through the Dozo. Tornadus, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Fluttermane, Hisuian Arcanine, the Wellspring Ogerpon, and the Iron Hands. Okay, so definitely a bit tricky here. They have Blood Moon Ursaluna. I can't tell if it's triggering Fluttermane or not. The Tornadus is also something I'm pretty interested to see here. Let's see, how do I want to perform against this? I think power wise, I'd probably, do I want Chiyu in this matchup? Probably not. Yeah, I think I'd probably want to go, I think Wellspring Ogerpon plus the Indeedee is a pretty solid lead. I could set up Swords Nest if I want to. It's probably not going to happen, but like it's still pretty decent here. It's also good against Blood Moon Ursaluna in general. I think Fluttermane in the back and clean up in the end game with Regieleki. I don't really like the Tailwind Mirror here just because of a few things. One, all of my Tailwind mons kind of stink against Iron Hands, but also two, they could have Trick Room on the Fluttermane and absolutely decimate me if I decide to go with the hard commitment of leading like Torn Tailwind stuff, and then they just end up Trick Rooming with the Fluttermane as like I can't KO their Fluttermane one shot on the first turn, and then it could be an absolute disaster. So I don't think that's ever to play. I think it's just like leading this more passive idea and seeing how well it can go here. So we're gonna see the Tornadus plus the Arcanine, which is not too surprising. This has been a pretty common lead. As I lead the Ogerpon Indeedee, I'm just gonna go for my Ivy Cudgel. I'm just gonna get some chip damage with the Psychic. Should be in a pretty good position for the most part. So we've just seen everyone lead this, and yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot because I did lead the Ogerpon this time. The question is, do I want to Terra? I don't really have a reason to go for the Terra here, I think, unless I really don't want to take damage from the Tornadus turn one, but I think I always just go for the Ivy Cudgel here. I guess I don't need Terra on Fluttermane, or actually I don't need Terra on Fluttermane or Regieleki for this game. Yeah, and the Terra is actually not too bad. It only hurts against their opposing Ogerpon, but you know what? The question is, do they Bleak Wind immediately instead of Tailwind? I really want to go for Ivy Cudgel here. I think I am just going to Ivy Cudgel and just go for a Psychic. I'm not going to Terra yet. Okay, they do go for a Terra on their own, which is fine. Let's see if it's the Arcanine. It is going to be the Arcanine. All right. That Terra Bug? This is Terra Blast, Terra Bug. Oh my goodness. I really wish I went for the Terra. I do get free Ivy Cudgel off. Okay, so they did Terra, or they did Bleak Wind with the Torn. It actually is Terra Bug, Terra Blast. What am I dealing with? Okay. Really weird position. Here comes the Bleak Wind Storm. Indeedee survives the turn. Speed drop is unfortunate, but it's not like that bad. Here comes a Psychic. Okay. I don't know what to expect from that, but I'm going out in Regieleki, I suppose. Terra Bug Arcanine. What the heck is the odds? I'm going for Electro up here, and I'm just protecting the Indeedee because it's probably Tailwind and Terra Blast. I don't know what I'm supposed to expect here. I'm just going for the Electro Web. I don't know if this KO's Torn. I think it depends on the spread. It didn't take the Psychic well, so I'd imagine Electro Web KO's here. And then we can go into position afterward where we follow me. I mean, this is just... What am I looking at right here? Okay, they don't switch out, so I get a free Electro Web off into Arcanine, so that should put in range of another one. Did you go for the Tailwind here? That's not too surprising. Who did the Arcanine target? Is it Indeedee or is it the Regieleki? It did target the Indeedee. Perfect. Please hit the Electro Web. If you miss the Torn, it's actually a okay spot for me. Okay, we do hit both. We do KO the Torn. The Arcanine is now in range of another Electrode. That's good. All right. So the Arcanine should underspeed my Regieleki now, and I should be able to Electro up KO. Now the question is, who did they bring out afterward? It could be Blood Moon or Ursaluna. It's actually Flutter Mane, so they can't Terra, which is actually really ideal here. It's Booster Energy Flutter Mane. Gonna be the Speed Booster. Oh, that means they have Icy. Or potentially they have Icy. I don't know if they have Icy confirmed. I'm just going for Electro, and I'm gonna go for Follow Me. I can't really double protect or anything. Might as well just go for that Follow Me. Make sure that my Regieleki doesn't become the victim of an Icy Wind Terra Blast combination, I suppose. We're going to see the Icy Wind. Yep, so speed drops are going to happen. Okay. That's unfortunate to have a speed booster. If it was any other Regieleki or Flutter Mane like Specs, it would be a lot easier to handle. But Terra Bug Arcanine. What the heck, man? I guess that's my fault for not Terraing, but I did not think I wasn't sure if I needed my Terra absolutely in that position. Electroweb, we do connect with both, thankfully, so we are able to eliminate the Arcanine. The Flutter Mane goes down. Okay, 2 more turns of Tailwind after this. Are we going to be able to break through is the question. So we are out into Flutter Mane as Iron Hands is the last one. Huh. This is a really interesting endgame, actually. They can't Terra anymore. Still have how many turns of Psychic Terrain left? 2. Perfect. I think the play is to double protect here and just scout for what they're gonna do. And then next turn, I think I Electro Whip, Terra Fairy, Moonblast there, Iron Hands. Yeah, that would be the play. Okay. Unfortunately, I think I still lose this. Like, it's winnable, but I think I very likely still lose this endgame. Unless the Iron Hands is very physically defensive and not specially defensive. Or if it's not a Assault Vest for some reason, I can win. But I would need a lot of ifs right now. Here comes a double protect. Because we got to still turn Tailwind. You go for Icy Wind again, yep. Or it doesn't have Heavy Slam. If it doesn't have Heavy Slam, it becomes a really interesting endgame. Okay. It is Heavy Slam, all right. Yeah, I gotta go for a double. I don't think I need to go for the double. I'm pretty sure that my play is still fine. I need to Electro up here, and I need to go for a Terra Fairy Moonblast. I'm pretty sure into Iron Hands. Let's see how much damage we do to this Iron Hands, because it's gonna be really crucial. Like, Electro up damage into the Terra Fairy Moonblast. I'm hoping for the KO, but I think it's really unlikely to, but we have to go for it. There's really not much of an option. I'd have to go for a crit otherwise. Let's see. They go for an Icy Wind. They hit both. If I dodge the Icy Wind with Flutter Mane, I was in an okay position. Regieleki gets crit, unfortunately. Actually, wait. How did the numbers work with Iron Hands? Oh, I underspeed anyway. Because I forgot about the Icy Wind from earlier. I did have to go for a double protect, I think, with Flutter Mane then. Yeah, I had to go for the double protect with Flutter Mane, I think. Electroweb. I don't think I would have... would I have knocked out the Iron Hands? I think it would have been super close. Yeah, unfortunate. I was not expecting Speed Booster Flutter on this one. Actually, they had a Chi-Yu, I guess. Oh, no, they did not have a Chi-Yu. I guess they need as a backup speed control for the Blood Moon. Yeah, I don't know how... I don't know. I think I did have to go for a double protect with specifically the Flutter Mane. I could have went for Electro with Regieleki, which was still fine, but I did have to go for a double protect. Terra Bug Arcanine, man. What the heck? I was not expecting my Ogre Pond to go down in that method. Unless it was Head Smash, but I was fine with Head Smash. They took Recoil and I would have been like, okay. It's not like too bad, but... Terra Blast, Terra Bug, man. What? All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, a lot of RNG both ways, but having the option of back entity most likely scared my opponent of clicking Shadow Snake, so I was able to get a fantastic position in a hard spot otherwise. In game 2, lead and the first turn couldn't have gone any better, as my opponent was already down a Mon and was forced to lock the Dondozo in with the Tatsugiri, which I was able to continue chipping down until I had the ability to clean up the remaining Pokemon under Tailwind. In game 3, Was expecting Terra Bug, Terra Blast, Arcanine, but I guess I should have just went for my own Terra with my Wellspring Ogerpon, as it would have helped a lot in that position. Otherwise, endgame was pretty rough and I needed a double protect with Flutter Mane, as the Icy Wind and Tailwind numbers were something I heavily miscalculated and thought I'd be able to get Electro Web off into the Iron Hands first, but I just ended up getting outsped by the Iron Hands afterward. This is a very aggressive team and it does require you to not be scared and be very confident in your move decisions. And I think something Tiago was able to really showcase well, how he was able to pilot it on stream. Fantastic plays overall. Was really impressed by how he played. And yeah, this is a really strong team. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. But of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.